Hello, everybody. My name is Luke Ramirez, and the topic that I have selected to cover today is public versus private schools in the United States. I will first go through six different slides comparing various topics about public and private schools and comparing the differences between the two of them. After I'm done sharing these six slides, I will show you a slide which contains pictures that will hopefully give you a better idea of what the topics I have covered look like. The first topic I will be discussing is the cost. In terms of public schools, they are funded through taxes. Taxes are paid on various things. It could be paid on food, clothing, or gas, or on the property that you own. In the state of Oregon, in which I live, we do not have a sales tax, but we do have rather high property taxes. When the government collects these taxes, a portion of that money goes towards public education. So the students and their families go to public schools do not have to pay in order to go there. On the other hand, at private schools, they do not receive, the school itself does not receive any government funding, and they are instead funded through tuition. What is tuition? Tuition is what the students and their families pay in order to attend the school. The cost of the school depends on many things, but the price can vary from anything from anywhere from $6,000 to $30,000 a year. Um, with the factors contributing to this price being quality of instruction, the breadth of the programs, and the facilities that the school has. Most private schools do offer tuition assistance, and they also offer monthly payment programs, so that six to $30,000 does not have to be paid all at once, and the school will offer help in order to pay um, those costs in many cases. The next topic we're going to look at is demographics. So public schools, they serve students within a neighborhood boundary or neighborhoods. So children attend along with their neighbors. As a result of this, the students who attend a specific school, specific public school that is, are often located in a close vicinity to the school. So the school is able to offer busing to and from school. So they get picked up by the bus in the morning, and then after they're done in the afternoon or evening, they are dropped off by the school bus as well. In contrast, private schools, families come from a wider radius and actively choose to attend the school. So it's not based on their neighborhood or where they live. They may travel a fairly significant distance in order to attend the school. While some private schools do offer buses, not all of them do, and but one difference is that some private schools facilitate parent carpools, which means that parents get together and that are close the take turns driving the students to school as opposed to riding the bus. When parents choose a private school, they often base this decision on school philosophy, religious creed, or a religious identification, educational offerings, and or the peer groups. Both public and private schools welcome students from various cultures and backgrounds. Next, we're going to take a look at admissions and entrance process. Public schools provide education to all students, regardless of their academic profile, religious creed, or developmental level. Once again, entrance to the school is based on the neighborhood that they live in or the school district that they are in. In terms of private schools, there is what is called an application process. This process can include a tour of the school, an application, academic assessment, and an interview. Admissions can be selective on certain criteria based on educational philosophy, student conduct, and or academic appetite. The next topic I will discuss is curriculum. The curriculum at public schools is a regulated curriculum for all because the public schools are funded by the government. They must adhere to school district policies and follow the procedures established by the district office. Private schools, because they do not receive any public funding, can expand their program curriculum without public funding regulations. This expanding may look like covering more intellectual, philosophical, and religious programming, and it just can go beyond what is regulated by the state. So they have a little bit more freedom and wiggle room, whereas public school curriculum is pretty rigid as it is decided by a governing body. Private schools do not have that governing body. They have the more or less freedom to cover what it is that they see important. Next, we'll talk about the qualifications of teachers. At public schools, they set teacher qualifications in education degrees, experience, certification, and background checks. They also require state certifications for teachers. So there's a certain certification process depending upon the state that you live in order to be certified to teach in that state. Similarly, in private schools, they also set teacher qualifications in education degrees, experience, qualifications, and background checks. But the difference is that private schools may prioritize advanced degrees in the subject matter or accept teacher certification from other educational organizations outside of the state certification. So they don't have to have that state certification. They can have their certification elsewhere, or it might not necessarily matter. They might prioritize a degree in a certain subject over that certification. Finally, we're going to take a look at dress code versus uniform. Public schools do not have a uniform, but what they do have is a dress code. A dress code is much less restrictive than a uniform, but it still prevents students from wearing clothing that is deemed inappropriate and or offensive. So think about drug references or profanity. Those would be considered inappropriate and or offensive. In contrast, private schools, while they might have a dress code, many private schools do have what is called a school uniform. This may consist of a blazer, a white shirt, school tie, slacks, socks, and black shoes for the boys, and the option of wearing dresses or a blazer and a blouse with slacks or a skirt for the girls. Finally, I'd like to share a couple pictures that will help make things a little bit more clear. On the left side, we do see an example of dress codes in public schools, dress codes in private schools. They have a uniform in this case. Of course, the boys are wearing those school ties, the black slacks, black shoes, the blazer, and with the girls, we see as well the blazer, the collared shirt, the skirt, and black shoes. On the right-hand side, the top image, we see an example of a dress code. On the right-hand side, we see things that are not approved in the school dress code, such as shirts with profanity, shirts that are sheer, muscle tees for guys, and spaghetti straps for girls. On the left, we see things that are approved, such as a graphic t-shirt, a long sleeve shirt, or a flannel. And then finally, in the middle and on the bottom right, I have two pictures of an example of what a private and public school like. In the middle, we see a private school. We see that it's two-story, very nice and well kept. Some might say it's fancy. While on the bottom, we see a public school. It is all nice, but it is only one story. It is substantially smaller. And so while public schools and private schools come in many different shapes and sizes, These are two good pictures of what you can think of when you think public school versus private school. And with that, that will be the end of my presentation. I want to thank everyone for listening, and I will see you all next time.